Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss a very important topic, which is what are the opportunities within the Qatar's real estate landscape, how can you apply for PR, and how can you buy a property to get permanent residence into Qatar. Qatar has gone through significant regulatory changes. In 2020, a decision was made by the government of Qatar to allow non-Qataris to own property to accelerate investment, thereby opening avenues for non-Qatari individuals and commercial companies to operate within Qatar. So in this video, we'll explore various things, the benefits of buying property, the conditions, the different types of property, some of the usual questions and answers that people ask as non-Qataris on how to buy and to understand and how to buy property in Qatar. So let's kick off with the benefits of owning property in Qatar. Initially, let's start by understanding the various benefits of owning property. Non-Qataris who invest in Qatar's real estate actually can secure permanent residency. For properties worth over 3.65 million, they are eligible for permanent residency, which comes with numerous benefits including access to healthcare, education, and investment opportunities. Qatar's real estate market offers a range of appealing opportunities, including high rental yield of around 7% growth over the past 5 years. It has a very stable investment environment, a very investor-friendly policies made by the government of Qatar, which has streamlined the inflow of investment into the country from foreigners. Now let's delve into the conditions of obtaining real estate residency in Qatar. So if you're willing to buy real estate and get residency, what's the conditions that you will have to meet? So firstly, to be eligible for real estate residency, your property's value should exceed 730,000 Qatari riyals for permanent residency, and its associate benefits, the property's value must exceed 3.65 million Qatari riyals. So it's important to note that properties valued at 730,000 Qatari riyals can be purchased by non-Qataris, but won't grant you the PR residency. It's only the 3.65 million ones. Now let's explore the different types of properties that you can own. There are obviously two major types. There's freehold and there's usufruct. So freehold is this type of property allows you to buy a property indefinitely and includes the right to sell, mortgage, or rent it. The numerous areas where non-Qataris can own property as freehold, which is more popular ones are West Bay, the Pearl, Al Khor, Lusail, and many more. Usufruct. This type of property is for a specific period. It's like a lease for 99 years, which can be extended when an agreement. The areas for non-Qataris to buy such properties are Sharab, Farij Abdulaziz, Doha Al Jadid, Al Salata, Farij bin Mahmoud, you've got Al Sad, and there are many more areas, and I'll list down all of these in my description below. So specific areas in Qatar are designated for each types of property ownership. So it's important to choose the one that aligns with your investment goals, but also your residency objectives in the country of Qatar. Let's address some of the very frequent questions asked to clarify aspects of property ownership in Qatar. One of the first questions that we normally always get is what are the ownership value requirements for co-owners seeking residency benefits? So if you are more than one owner, then what are the benefits or what is the condition? So with regards to joint ownership, the real answer is that each co-owner share should start from 730,000 Qatari riyals. That's for the first category. And for the second category, it's $1 million, which is 3.65 million Qatari riyals, to be eligible for property ownership residency benefits. The second question is, can a real estate investor in Qatar work without transferring their ID to a new employer? And what's the process for doing so? So can you transfer your ID to a new employer? So a real estate investor may work in Qatar without transferring their ID to a new employer. So you can do that. This requires applying for a work permit from the Ministry of Labor. So you have to go to the licensing department while you can still maintain the property ownership residency. Now, the next question is, what are the conditions for investment in real estate under development? So, if it's something under development, it's not ready, it's off plan, or whether you're constructing a property on a land. So, can you purchase a land? That's a usual question we get. So, investment in real estate under development or off plan, with normally well known as off plan, allows for owning is allowed. Is also a piece of land can be purchased with the condition that the building of the property on the same land is done in no more than 4 years, renewable for another 4 years. Off-plan purchase is also permitted, but some government departments may register the property in the name of you or the purchaser only until the construction has been completed. Only after that. Now, what are the required documents? Very essential to know what are the required documents for obtaining property residency in Qatar. So, the required documents for ownership is that you need a personal identification, obviously, a card as a residence, which is normally your QID. And you need a certificate, obviously your passport, and a certificate of good conduct from the latest country of residence where you or the applicant has stayed for at least 3 years. So you need a good conduct certificate. Where should an applicant for property ownership residency be submitted, and is the process the same across all regions in Qatar? That's another question. The application must be submitted to the Ministry of Justice, non-Qataris property ownership, and the process is the same across all regions. So no matter where you're buying it, has to go to the Ministry of Justice. What is the expected timeline for obtaining such a residency permit through property ownership, and what happens after approval? So the timeline needed for obtaining the residency permit is approximately 48 hours if all requirements are met. Further processing, including your ID issuance, your QID, other things are completed, the health protocols, etc. once you've entered the country. Are there any specific restrictions for obtaining residency through property ownership in Qatar, and what are the restrictions if there are any? So the quick answer is that there are no specific restrictions on buying property, except for the ones that I mentioned, the freehold and the other that you have to bear in mind while applying for your PR. The next usual question, obviously, people living abroad is: does an investor need to be physically present in the country to apply for property residency? And the answer is no. You can still apply while living abroad. You don't have to be present in the country. That's very important to know. I think the last question is: how is the value of the property evaluated in Qatar, and are there any differences in evaluation processes from properties to properties or for specific underdevelopment properties? The answer is the property evaluation is done by the Ministry of Justice based on the traded value in the relevant areas. There is a property evaluator application that can assist you in determining the property values, and it's for areas under the development of UDC, which is the property developer of the Pearl of Qatar. They are for the sale. The property is evaluated by the developer under the supervision, obviously, of the Ministry of Justice. How to find properties? Obviously, the main thing is now you understand what is the rules, where you can buy, what are the frequent questions. So how do you find property if you're interested? So finding the right property in Qatar is quite easy. You can get in touch with a range of real estate agencies already present in Qatar. They can help you locate suitable properties in the designated areas that is of interest, and will guide you through the whole purchasing process and the PR process. That's it. Closing remarks. Hopefully you found the video interesting. As we conclude, it's important to know that the Qatar's real estate landscape is very diverse. The range of opportunities within freehold and other areas, the country provides very appealing options, and it gives you option to apply for PR while living in a very safe country, which is its main value proposition, is you're living in one of the most safest countries in the world. As the economy continues to diversify and the backing of previous successful events like the FIFA World Cup, the country and the sector is just promised for sustained growth, and it's an exciting prospect for investors, but also people who like to live here. Thank you for joining and exploring what are the opportunities in the real estate sector. There were a lot of questions. People were interested about knowing how to invest in the country and how to get PR. Just let me tell you that this video was shot in October 2023, and this is the latest information we have received from the Ministry of Justice. It's fresh, it's latest. Things could develop, could change in the weeks or months to come. But as it stands, this is the most updated information that you will receive. So hopefully you found the video interesting. I'll have a script in English as well for you to go through the entire video once again if you wanted to use some of the text for your future investment opportunities. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.